I can't believe I have another 5 minutes with Errol Musk. Errol, I want to understand a little bit more about the nations in the world. Take, for instance, the Eastern Europe. Can you just reflect on that, please?
You mean the problems they've got?
Yeah, and the nations and the ethnic.
Why they don't get on, you mean?
Mm,
Um, yes, I can comment on that. It's very interesting that many of these places, like Russia, like France, like, well, all the Baltic countries, England, were populated by a group of people who appeared somewhere, somewhat out of nowhere, about 12,000 years ago.
mm-hmm,
And they were called the Cro-Magnon man.
mm-hmm.
And if you look up in the encyclopedia, in fact, if you look up in the encyclopedia, which you could take in Carta or one of those, you will read there, it says Cro-Magnon man appeared all of a sudden about 12,000 years ago, out of nowhere, and immediately set about doing away with the Neanderthals.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's very interesting, out of nowhere. And so you have many theories about Atlantis. You have many theories about aliens. You have many theories about, well, I suppose there was some island called, oh, I forget what it was called in the North Atlantic, and the name that they called that, let me see, the name was the Thule Island, Thule. And it's so, that's a legend, you know, and the it extends so far into today's world that a particular island that these people were supposed to have come from and can be traced to the Cro-Magnon man, were the inspiration for Nietzsche and other philosophers in the 1900s to talk about the Superman and the what would the Germans, the Nazis called them, the master race, and the descendants of the master race. So it is a very interesting puzzle as to where these people came from. Nevertheless, over the centuries, or over the thousands of years that passed, and we know very little about a lot of that time, we find ourselves in a period of history, let's say, over the last 2,000 years, where we have a fair record of what happened. Okay? So you have the fact that after the demise or fall of the Roman Empire, large areas of Europe were suddenly invaded from the north by people that were called Norsemen or Vikings. And these people came into Europe and literally took over just about every country, including Russia. So a Viking clan called the Rus went into the Russian world, into the area we call Russia. Another clan went to northern France, where you have Normandy, which is meaning where the Norsemen came. Then, of course, you have England, which, if it were not for the fact that things happened, good things happened, to make people attempt to live together, it's quite conceivable that England would be called Daneland now, and not England. It's only by I don't know, by perhaps goodwill that came about that they remained with the term England. But all these different places were invaded by the same people. And the question is, were those people the descendants of Cro-Magnon man? Because it is those people that have changed every country in the world. And if one talks about Europe, in fact, virtually all of Eastern Europe and certainly Northern Europe is populated by the descendants of the Vikings. And it is difficult to understand why they didn't get on with each other, but they were different clans and they believed in being the best. So each clan wanted to be the best or the most important clan. And it's really odd because we think today, well, we talk about Wednesday. Well, what is Wednesday? It's Woden's Day. That's Viking. What is Thursday? That's Thor's Day. What's Friday? That's Frida's Day. These are all Viking gods.
Oh.
Yes. So the other days are similar. Some of them may have been, I'm not sure, but some of them may have, but I believe most of the days, probably 5 out of 6 or at least 6 out of 7 of the days are pure Viking names.
Errol.
So it's obvious that they had a tremendous influence on Europe. And they brought with them that spirit, each clan, of being the best. And for them, that was what mattered more than anything else.
Very interesting. Errol, one can ask you anything.